a Dredfunn original production. Please sit back and enjoy.
Hey guys, Dredfunn here with another one of my time-lapse video uploads. Drawing the Tin Man from Wizard of Oz, the spookiest character of them all. Well, not really spooky, just terrifying for me as a young boy. I do remember watching it and thinking like, that, what do you mean? He's frozen, he can't move, he's stuck forever, ever. And it just blew my mind. I remember being very upset and distraught over this and just the thought of it. So like, to me as a kid, I have a lot of not vivid, but faint memories of being scared of, I guess not the Tin Man, but scared of his fate. For me, being stuck in a forest all alone with nothing to do, nothing to entertain you, nothing to draw, nothing to whatever, that would not be good. Just the thought of not being able to move. Maybe this is all part back to my like oppositional disorder. You say left, I say right. You say yes, I say no. It's been a pain in the butt my whole life. Anyways, we're drawing the Tin Man, and this one, I don't know, when I was selecting all the images, they all came pretty easy. The Tin Man, I couldn't find one that I liked until I came across this one with his eyes bugging out of his head all wide open. The ceramic paint or whatever and leaking into the actor's brain, and he was clearly going maniacally crazy. I'm joking. I don't know if any of that was true. I know that like there was problems with like Buddy Epson or something, and being allergic to whatever the main ingredient is in the paint that they started using. But anyways, yeah, here I am detailing the eye. Now, yeah, I made a couple mistakes right off the bat, but I was able to fix them. Years of drawing Iron Man and other metallic type like droids and stuff really helped out a lot when doing the Tin Man, just because I knew that all those things would come together and help me try to make this skin look as metallic as possible, which is what the producers and the directors and all those people that worked on the movie way back in the day, they were trying to do. And it's neat if you check out some of the history of the movie and the Tin Man and all the things that they went through. It's pretty neat. I'm a bit of a history buff, so it was kind of cool. I did a bit of research on all of the actors and all their suits before doing these. Yeah, it was really a lot of, like I said, I don't really use this paper as much anymore because I'm limited in the size that I can produce. So if I want to do finite detail in a small sort of area, I really can't get away with that when using this watercolor paper because it's too perforated. But for bigger images, especially images taken with old-timey cameras that have that soft lighting glow, it really can work out well. Yeah, now I'm just going again in the nose, doing the other eye. This is a more standard way that I approach doing the pencils. I try to get I guess it's the right eye, the nose, then I'll either do the mouth or the left eye or vice versa, depending on the position of the head. And I then usually go down and will finish the right side of whatever person I'm drawing. A lot of it is just making sure that I'm keeping my drawing hand away from any areas that I've already rendered or detailed. Again, I mean, even if you put a piece of paper down or some clear plastic or whatever you want, there's still going to be some smudging and smudges. So for me, the game is all about the smudging. I'm bending and twisting this paper and pushing it down with my thumb and then using a brush and flattening it out and pulling out the light with my eraser. So I'm always trying to be aware of that. Now again, I remember doing the eyebrows. They were tough because I actually had to find a couple different images online to see, and it looked to me like they'd left his eyebrows on and they simply painted over them. But in other images, it honestly looked like he was wearing like like some sort of I want to say swim cap that covered even like his eyebrows. I don't know. Again, maybe it was all of the above. Who knows? Like for close-ups in movies, you're going to want to have all that detail, but maybe in longer range shots where they're not concerned about showing that detail, they can get away with that. You know, they even do that kind of stuff to this day. So everything's coming together fine. I'm using nothing but a mechanical pencil with 0.5 leads. I think they're HB or 2B or not to be. I don't know. Either way, I get them at the dollar store. I'm a man of finite means. I don't know. So, yeah, another thing that used to always bother me is my first introduction to Wizard of Oz was through the books, I believe. And it's weird because I don't have a lot of memories of any of the characters other than the Tin Man. And I always liked the Tin Man because he wasn't shaped like a man. He was man-like, but he was very, I don't know, cartoony droid-like. Oh, this is a really neat part here. You can really see this up close with this watercolor paper, how that smudging works with the brush. I don't even have to go back over with my thumb again. All those little bits of graphite get caught in the perforations of the paper, so honestly it's almost like they're little peaks and valleys. So areas right there where I'm shading, darker areas are the higher areas. Lighter areas are the lower areas, the valleys, the areas that can't get the pencil unless you dig right in there and flatten it out. Which is what I do when I know it's going to be completely black. So if that collar thing that I'm doing there that comes around his neck, if that whole area was dark, I wouldn't bother shading it in like a light way. I'd just simply just black it all out and then go over it as many times as it takes to make it look smooth. A lot of artists, you know, I don't want to say artists, but people, I guess, well, artists too, I don't know. They don't like the single pencil approach type thing. They want to be able to use the pencils for different things. And for me, with my attention inability to focus and just I don't even like sharpening pencils. I really had to just do what I could with what I had. And again, I find one of the things that really helps is after I've smudged there, sometimes, I don't know if I do this with this one, I'll go back and I think I brought the ruler in there just to double check and make sure an angle was right. A lot of times I can tell right off the bat. Sometimes it's not until you get down in the nitty gritty and you realize, oh wait a minute, this collar piece, that's too high or too low. And for me, I have to change it if I can. Something that the electric racers come in handy on a lot of cases. Not so much like in those areas where, like I said, I don't shade it using a gradient, where like I'll put it down this way then come across like I'm doing right now. Like that top part there, that's what I'm talking about. I'll just black that all in. If I then take my electric eraser and try to pull that out, it's not going to work as well. Found that out recently with a piece I was doing, which will probably never see the light of day. But yeah, because I messed it up. But yeah, we're just rounding it up, and again with like stuff that I've done with droids, and eventually I want to do a lot of the Star Trek and Star Wars, the ships. So I gotta bone up my shading of metallic surfaces. Now, none of this is metallic. I mean, I'm pretty sure that even the pieces that look metal weren't metal. Like even the bodice piece or whatever it is that's fitting over his torso, it might have been metal. But I think a lot of the little accoutrements that fit around him, they weren't. And I don't think the thing on his head was metal either, but it could have been. Back in the MGM days, those boys were hardcore. They used to tie up lions and make them scream into signs. Now they just do it digitally. No lions get hurt anymore. Rawr! But yeah, so finishing up the hat, the little tin cap, the chapeau. Yeah, these drawings, as well as my Walking Dead 4-pack, really surprised me. I like the end result, and every time I watch these videos or look at these images, it makes me want to go back to using the perforated paper. And the whole reason why I stopped using it was because they stopped selling it, jerks. So I had to switch to something else in the meantime, and I got really good at using. It is perforated, but the paper I use is like a Bristol now, and like I can take an image that I wouldn't be able to detail or render. I can do that on this paper, just because I can make them smaller. With this stuff, I can't control it. So if I'm doing something where, let's say, I did the whole body of the Tin Man with his head, it would be muddled when it comes to the head and some of the smaller parts. So yeah, this is where a lot of the magic happened. I even surprised myself. I didn't use my electric eraser because I didn't have it at the time. But I know I used a brand new pliable graphite eraser. I still had the new smell in it when I ripped it open out of the package. Because I knew I wanted this to be sharp. And that's all it does, is it picks up little bits of graphite. And after a while, they're useless. They become like almost sludge-like, and you got to get rid of them. Get a new one. I don't know if they're biodegradable. Maybe birds can make houses out of them.
I don't think so.
Maybe it'll help them evolve into different creatures.
I don't think so.
So yeah, I'm just wrapping it up. Again, another thing is sometimes right here you'll see I'm actually using the eraser at like 50% strength, meaning I'm not pressing down very hard. I'm actually just sweeping lightly, just pulling up a little bit and leaving areas around there. So I learned that from making a lot of mistakes on some of my earlier projects where I'm like, how can I get that light to sort of fade and come out. Wow, I didn't realize I really did do a lot of work with the graphite eraser in this one. Heck, this should almost be called an eraser drawing. But yeah, you can see, like, if you want, go rewind the video and check it out. So I hope you guys like this video. Don't forget to subscribe and pass it along. Dredfunn out.
This has been a Dredfunn.com production. Thanks for watching.